Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining me today. If you would please like and share, I would appreciate it. Just waiting for a few people to log on in so I can get into our topic for today. Thank you guys for supporting these efforts of me doing these weekly 15 minutes of inspiration coming out of the book Running Things, the Resilient Spirit of an Entrepreneur. Oh no, the Resilient Spirit of a Leader. You know what? My first book right here, Running Things, was the Resilient Spirit of an Entrepreneur. And it kind of tells my journey as it relates to entrepreneurship. And then I took some bullets, some nuggets out of this particular book and created this book, Running Things, 52 Weeks Leadership Devotional. And it's a devotional for business leaders, community leaders, and ministry leaders. So whatever leader you are, you can get some good information out of this. So it's designed for leaders. For you all that don't know me, hi, my name is Teresa S. McCurry. I'm the CIO, Chief Inspirational Officer of the Super T Inspires, and I'm also the Senior Pastor of New Beginnings Ministries. And every week for the next 52 weeks, today we're on week 18, I'm going to come to you on Thursdays at 2 o'clock and share 15 minutes of inspiration. So if you like this, please like and share. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hey, sis, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. So we just got 15 minutes, so I kind of just like dive into it. I don't hang around and wait for everybody to tune in. If you didn't tune in the beginning, you can always circle back and catch the replay. So today our topic is marketing plan. So whether you have a business, whether you have a ministry, or you're a community leader, whatever you're leading, you need to think about a plan to market it. So a marketing plan is really like a business plan. So if you haven't written a business plan, I suggest you do so, even if it's not a formal business plan, because when you have a plan, it's a roadmap of how you intend to get to your expected end. And if you don't write down your roadmap of how you intend to get to your expected end, how do you know when you get there? So having a marketing plan is very important to help you get there. So if you're following me in the book, we're on page 70 today. And on page 70, the quote that I have, it says, marketing encompasses all the means in which you communicate with your customers. So marketing encompasses your branding, your identity, your text, your fonts, your colors, all of that is encompassed into your marketing. So when you are marketing, you want to have a marketing plan. And the first thing, and sometimes maybe it might be the last thing you do, is have an executive summary. So how an executive summary works is like everything bundled up in a nutshell is your executive summary talking about your marketing plan. So first, your marketing plan should have a mission statement. So your mission statement is what you plan to do. And your vision statement is how you plan to do it. So you should have a mission statement and a vision statement as it relates to your marketing. And then one thing that people forget about is a situation analysis. So when you have your marketing, a situation analysis is like how, if you paint a situation and you say if this person was to do this and they was to do that, how would this catch their attention? How would that catch their attention? How do they feel about my brand, my marketing? That is a situation analysis. So you want to kind of analysis, a situation analysis. You want to analyze the situation and how are people feeling when they're seeing your marketing? What are they thinking about you as a business, a ministry, or a community organization? And how do you want them to feel? So sometimes they have what is called group, I forget what the name of this, like when you get a group of people and you kind of ask them questions and show them stuff and get a survey. So it's like a group survey. So you do a group survey to find out how they feel about this or how they feel about that. And that can kind of give you a pulse on what people think about you and your marketing techniques. So another thing that you need to do is know who your target market is. Because each market, you'll market to them differently in your marketing plan. Example, if your target market is children, it would not behoove you to hang around the college, right? Because college students don't have children. Well, some of them don't. but you want to be where children are going to be or where the caregivers are going to be for the children. So if children is your target market, you want to think about where children are going to be. If college students are your target market, you want to go to sorority parties or fraternity parties or go where college students are, hopefully at the library, right? So they'll be there studying. If professional women were your target market, you might run into them at the grocery store. You might run into them at a networking event. If men that are health conscious are your target market, you might run into them at the gym. You might run into them in Whole Foods or the vitamin shop or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So you want to be clear on who your target market is. Please, 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 please do not make the mistake of saying, everybody is my target market. I want to appeal to everybody. You're casting your net too wide and you probably won't bring in anybody. You gotta have a target market, somebody that you're going after so you can create your brand, your products, your marketing for that target market. And when you create your things for that target market, there's also people that are called outliers. So you have your target market, this is your target market. And then you have people that are spread around your target market. So let's say my target market is professional women. So I have professional women, and that truly is my target market for the beauty industry, right? So my target market is professional women. But I have outliers to those professional women that I can serve as well. So my professional women is my target market. An outlier would be her husband. She can bring her husband, I can cut his hair. An outlier would be her daughter. She can bring her daughter, I can style her hair. An outlier would be her granddaughter. She can bring her granddaughter, I can cornrow her hair. You get what I'm saying? So you have your target market and you want to welcome the outliers, but everything you do, my colors, my text, my branding, my post is going to be geared towards my target market. And then you want to have a buyer persona. So if my buyer is this professional woman, what is the persona for a professional woman and what's going to appeal to her? So when you're thinking about your marketing plan, you want to also put in there your buyer's persona. What is going to appeal to that particular buyer? What are they going to be attracted to? So you know you have a lot of women's ministries out here. And then even when you say women's ministries, that's just such a broad ministry, right? So then you have women ministries that are focused towards single moms. Then you have women's ministries that are focused towards hurting women. Then you have women's ministries that are focused towards healing women. You get what I'm saying? So you want to be clear on who your marketing plan is geared toward. And then you want to talk about marketing objectives and performances. So a marketing objective is, okay, I'm going to put X amount of dollars into this particular advertising, this particular branding, and then you want to go back and inspect what you expect by finding out, was there a return on your investment? Because like me, I have a business, I have a ministry, I get calls all the time about being a part of some kind of marketing plan, some kind of marketing event, some kind of marketing something. But then I have to find out, first of all, does that speak to my target market? And then if I'm going to do it, I have to monitor what is my return on my investment, the performance of me being a part of this particular thing as it relates to my marketing plan. Then with your marketing, you want to have a pricing strategy. So you just don't want to have a pricing strategy as it relates to your business, your services, or your products. You want to have a pricing strategy as it relates to your marketing. So in your marketing plan, the average is if I make $100, at least 15 or 10% of that should go back into advertising dollars. So that's constantly putting my face, constantly putting my name, constantly putting my brand in front of my target market. So that's investing in business cards, that's investing in flyers, it's investing in Facebook ads. You know, Facebook is inundated with ads right now. That's if that's where your target market is. Because if you have a younger target market, that's investing in Instagram ads, right? Because that's where your younger target market would. If you're going after business professionals, that's investing in LinkedIn ads. So when it comes to the marketing, you want to know where your pricing is and have a pricing strategy so you're not just throwing dollars out of the window, hoping that they will fall somewhere, hoping somebody will pick up a flyer, and hoping that they'll come in. And the last thing is with your marketing, you want to have a distribution strategy. How am I distributing what it is that I want to do? How am I getting my name out there? So in getting my name out there with the distribution, all of that should be in your marketing plan. So if you haven't written a marketing plan, I suggest that you do so. I suggest that you just Google marketing plans. You can Google marketing plan template, create a marketing plan template, put the date on it. Ideally, if you're in business, ministry, or marketing or organization, you want to break it down in quarters. So you want to have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4, have a price that you want to spend for each quarter, and then have a price that you want to spend for the whole year. So that's very important with the strategic marketing, that you come up with some kind of pricing strategy. And with your distribution as well. So just a really quick review. Wow, this 15 minutes goes so fast. I hope y'all learned something. I love sharing this information with you guys, because I think that when you're in business or when you're first starting off in the ministry, you don't know where to go. You don't know what to look for. You don't know what it should look like. So me giving you these little 15 minutes of inspiration, these little 15 minutes of nuggets, hopefully you're able to take some of this information and apply it to your business, your ministry, or your organization. And then the little space in there where you have little notes that you can write down. My goal, my thought when I created this was you can listen to it, you can go back and read it, and then write down the thoughts that you have on day 1. Write down the thoughts that you have day 1 through 6, and then go back and meditate on it. And then just see what God is going to do with you. So hopefully you learned something today, and I just want to do a really quick review, and then we'll be out of here, right? See you next Thursday. So the first thing, you want to have an executive summary. Ideally, you want to create your whole marketing plan, sum it up in a nutshell, put it in the executive summary. Some of the pieces and components that your marketing plan should have is a mission statement, a vision statement, a situation analysis, a target market. Your target market is so important. I cannot talk about that enough. You need to know who your target market is. Your buyer persona. What is the persona that your buyer has? Marketing objectives and performances. You want to inspect what you expect. So if I spend X amount of dollars, I'm expecting X amount of dollars or X amount of clients in return. So you want to constantly inspect that. And then now on these social media platforms, they have an analysis that you can look at to tell you how many people liked it. The other day I put up a post, and it ain't had nothing to do with nothing. It said something about our board. I was on the Detroit Shoreway board. We merged. We're 3 boards in one. So now it's Cadell, Edgewater, and Detroit Shoreway. Now we're one board called Northwest Community Development Center. And I took a picture of the Zoom meeting and posted. The analysis said over 200 people liked that post. And I was like, wow, I've been telling y'all about business, and I get 7 likes or 7 posts. Go figure. Anywho. So then after that, you want to have a pricing strategy, and you also want to have a distribution strategy. So hopefully you walked away with more knowledge than when you came in. If this information is not for you, please share it with your friends. Please share it with somebody in ministry, somebody in business, or a community leader. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week, 2 o'clock, and we'll be continuing to talk about this. So today is week number 18, the marketing plan. I am Teresa S. McCurry, the CIO, Chief Inspirational Officer of the Super T Inspires, and I'm also the Senior Pastor of New Beginnings Ministries. And I would love to fellowship with you. I would love to give you a discovery call to help you with your business, your ministry, or your organization. You can check me out at www.supertinspires.me. That's www.supertinspires.me, and set up a discovery call. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Look forward to talking to you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.